We're diving on deep to a great conversation with the Port of Call. We've got Dick Taylor and Wendy Smith in studio this morning. Morning, both.
Good morning.
How are you?
Great.
All right.
Boy, the frost is on the pumpkin this
You ain't
morning.
kidding. It is cold out there.
It's beautiful.
Good.
All right, let's get down to the important stuff first. Last week, Wendy, you were here. You were telling us about a trip that you were going to take with some folks down at the marina, the Lighted Boat Parade. This would have been your first time doing it, and what's the results?
It was awesome.
I bet.
And I just want to thank my hosts,
Yeah?
Neil and Debbie Stolberg.
Nice.
They were gracious enough to invite me and my family to come on board, and it was fantastic. I mean, they actually said typically they don't do the parade until 1 week later, so it should be this weekend, but somebody had a conflict, so it was early. So it was actually rough, but I couldn't tell it was rough. I mean, they just navigate well, and but looking at the water, it was pretty rough, but it was beautiful. And you asked where people watch. Apparently Walker Park is a big spot to watch.
Yeah.
But houses all along the whole route flash flashlights, and one of my twin daughters had a ball flashing back.
I bet.
Yeah, so it was really, really great. We
Get
had
the
a good
hoops
time.
and hollers from folks on land.
Yeah, and some of the yacht club members and some of the tenants that are down there have houses right along the water, and so they're, if they aren't in the parade, they're definitely watching, and they're
Each boat probably got the Christmas music going.
Oh yeah, and the lights, and what's really kind of a neat thing is those guys are family down there. I mean, there was one boat that had trouble on the way back, and he radioed and just said, I think I've lost some steering. So the boat behind us turned right around because he was behind them, and helped him out, and then he ended up losing radar, and so then another boat went back. And I mean, it's just they all help each other, and they talk about who's where on the guest dock and who's going where, and it's pretty awesome.
It is a nice little community down there, and getting quite the upgrades as we've been hearing over the couple months. Everything is trucking along there pretty close to being completed for folks.
And actually, I just have to say one more thing, not about the parade, but our staff, maintenance, they went down that Friday. As you remember, it was a big snow day, and they went down and they got the snow off the docks. Even though it was raining, the snow was not coming off those docks, and so they really prepared the docks well for that event, and anyone that was cruising down to the marina. So great job to our maintenance. I mean, we're down to 3 guys and a supervisor, and so they work their tails off. They're going to be down at the marina this morning doing some dock work as well, just some attachment points. But the boathouses are all coming along. I think we had one that didn't, they dismantled it and went away. The rest are all seeming like they're going to upgrade.
And what we were saying, that it seemed like a lot of folks already seeing a boost to their investment when they kind of get a new look at. So do they call, not like a real estate agent? Is it someone?
Well, they're guys that sell them, They're kind of like real estate agents. But,
yacht brokers, probably.
Yeah.
But, there's a community of, boathouses are going away in most places. And so there's definitely a need, and I think that's where these guys really have made the right choice. They're sticking it out, but they're making an investment that somebody will definitely come after later.
For sure. We're not, like you mentioned, we're not getting more of these things.
That's right. But the exciting news on the marina front is Brandon. He's just about to go on vacation, and he's getting all his stuff done. Good for him, and he's pushing really hard. But he got the RFQ out for request for qualifications for engineering and architecture firms to get out there and actually submit their qualifications to us for 5 years, kind of like we did at the airport. So they'll be able to be our engineer of record, and they'll be able to help us with our dock upgrades and that we have to do. So that's all coming in the next year. But those qualifications, we've had lots of interest. Brandon's met, I think, maybe at least 2 already down on the docks, possibly more, just wandering around asking questions. So I think we'll get some good submittals on that, and those are all due Thursday at 4, and Brandon's gone Friday.
Well, you better get it in there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, does that show any indication to a better economy, that more people are interested in this, or is this kind of a job that maintains over the time?
They're specialized. These guys are specialized in dock work typically. Could be a better economy. I mean, I kind of had to laugh because we're so small scale compared to Anacortes or Edmonds. So I kind of had to laugh that they're very interested. But part of it is the enticement of being your 5-year they're on
some
call for 5 years, which
stability.
is how we always have done it at the airport.
Yeah.
So I think it's nice to have that. And I think they're thinking, wow, we haven't heard about, Oakland Bay Marina for a while. So we'll get down there and check it out. And it's exciting. And we've got to redo the dock. So I'm hoping they give us some good incentive and ideas on how to do that and how to pay for it and, what we could do to make that. And they're going to be kind of in charge of, rather than our small staff, the permitting. And that's just
shepherding that through,
Army Corps and, DFW, the Department of Fish and Wildlife for the state and the feds, U.S. Fish. And, it's just... it's a lot.
It'll take a lot of your guys' plates.
It will.
And we've had some world-class companies express interest in this.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. That's very cool.
Is a world-class organization out of Bellingham.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and Bellingham's, huge water,
they have big water.
the huge docks and stuff.
Huh.
So a lot of interest
Very
from the Society of Engineers or whatever they're doing. Yeah.
What else is going on, Dick?
Well, we went to the Economic Development Expo last week, which was it was very, very interesting. Well presented. Matt Matioshi was there, who was the EDC director here prior to Lynn. Of course, Longan was there. Got to meet some people that, in the community, in economic development community, and ran into some old compatriots from 20 years ago that are still going and working. So it was a good expo.
One of the big things that they talked about, and Lynn, I think, led this discussion, was about 502 and the marijuana initiative.
Right.
You guys have opened your arms and there's a lot of folks up there on port property now that are part of this, and now some of the biggest players in the state, the county and the state.
Yeah, M&R for sure.
When they come, you go to those things or you go to your different port meetings, do people come and say, is this a deal? Is this working? What do people say about the smell? What should we do about this?
Well, they didn't come to us per se at this meeting, but they had a breakout session on the 502s that we went to where they talked about. They had two producers and a lobbyist were there talking about the problems of 502s and not the problems, but the challenges. Yeah. And how to get around them and work through the system to get there and to the future of it. So it looks like, the industry is growing. It's going to max out at some point. They're not going to issue any more permits. So it's going to level out at some point. Right. But the demand is there. Yeah. So that will continue to go up. And the income from that industry has exceeded the income from the hard liquor sales in the state of Washington.
Yeah. Just surpassed it.
So. Saw too that in Colorado they sold last year $1 billion worth of cannabis. Wow. Yeah. And the amount of money that they're able to put back into the schools and all those things. I know that was something that Lynn was talking about, how the cities and municipalities are getting not as big as a take as maybe they should be, and that's a future conversation.
Yeah, that's a real bone of contention with the cities and counties, because the state has taken the elephant's share of all that money that's coming, or all that revenue that's coming in. And rightfully so, the cities and counties need to get a better shot at it.
And regardless of what you think about the actual product, the businesses there have, I can only assume, helped with, because they have got the security cameras and there's more people on site now, and I assume that would help security overall in the port.
It does,
And I think what we've seen too is, we had some buildings that we had a heck of a time leasing, just based on their
age and condition,
vintage, and these guys really, they go in and they turn these buildings into something that, if their industry doesn't pan out for them or they end up leaving port property, we're left better than when they got there. So,
top of the line, everything.
Top of the line.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So it's good.
What's the rest of the schedule for the port here as we move into the holiday season?
Well, we have our meeting next week.
You do have a
next
meeting?
Tuesday.
Yeah. And I actually am not able to come here next Wednesday. I don't know.
How are we going to do that? Yeah, so we'll finish off the year.
Okay.
We've got some stuff we want to talk about. But, it's the end of the year.
Yeah.
Slowing down.
Very
Winding
slowing down for
yeah.
sure.
I did want to say,
Yep.
so our own Commissioner Christy Buck is off vacationing in New York this week, and
Yeah.
she made it on the Today Show.
What?
With a sign that said, "Hello, Shelton, Washington." It was
No
bright lime
way.
green.
This morning?
Yeah, this morning.
Good for her.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back and look at that tape.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
So there she
Good for
was.
Christy.
So that was
Funny.
pretty awesome. And I just wanted to
Why didn't she put the port's website on there or something?
Right. Well, we're looking at, and that was the thing that I wanted to mention too. Is speaking of websites, we're actually looking at. We have a Facebook page by demand of people looking up Port of Shelton. We didn't set it up,
Yeah.
and so we're looking at taking control of that Facebook page and actually posting things like Christy. But so that'll be up and coming. Our website also is going to get some further upgrades. We've been working for months now on getting the cameras, the guest dock camera at the marina, and then the runway camera, so people can check weather and conditions and various, if there's space on the guest dock, that kind of thing. We're working on that and should be pretty close to come.
Oh, very cool.
So that'll be really exciting. Want to just say that we hired another staff person. Deb Soper's been working temporary in our office, and she's a great find. And we just offered her a full-time job just on December 1st.
Nice.
So she took it up, and she's just been a great addition to our staff, as well as we are, a staff of 8, including me. So, and we are, always running at full speed. And those guys, here it is Christmas. I just want to thank every one of them. They do a fantastic job.
Super.
And they just keep the port, running and hopping. So thanks to all of them. And tenants need to keep their water dripping. It's that time of year with the cold outside.
Yeah.
I'm just reminded to just keep that water dripping just a little bit so they don't freeze their pipes.
That's a good
that
one.
will be a good, So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess, Wendy, we won't see you probably until, not next week, but maybe the
Next
week
year.
after that. Maybe it's even next year. So happy holidays to you for sure. And get ready for that big Cougar game coming up. Did you hear the
27.
news about this? The Minnesota team, 10 of their big main players suspended. Handful of even quarterbacks or defensive backs.
What
yeah. I don't have the details, but 10 players indefinitely from all team
Wow.
activities.
Oh,
A handful
my
of their
goodness.
defensive backs, their running backs, 2 of their quarterbacks, and a defensive lineman will not be playing at that Holiday
Wow.
Why can't that happen to Alabama?
Bowl. I know, right?
Maybe it will.
Maybe it will.
Well,
we'll
that's
see.
too bad.
Yeah.
We want to beat them in full cycle, not.
That's true.
No, you just want to beat them.
That's right.
That's the way it works. You just want to win.
Dick Taylor, Wendy Smith from the Port of Shelton. Thanks so much for coming in, and we'll talk
Our
again
pleasure.
real soon.
All right.
Let's surface on out of here.
Do you know you have access to the fastest internet in Washington State? Switch to iFiber Communications right now and take advantage of our special offers. Pay only $29.95 for 100 megabit high-speed internet, or get 3 months of internet absolutely free. That's right, $29.95 for 100 megabit speeds or 3 months of internet free. Shop, stream, and game like never before with iFiber Communications high-speed internet. Call 360-427-4000 or check us online at ifiber.tv. Subject to credit approval. Valid on a 24-month contract.